Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To inquire of the bill handler.
Jump to cab yield.
I do.
Oh, sorry.
Proceed.
Thank you. Okay, so I got a real quick question for you. So as we're talking about unemployment, so you were saying that if the person that's unemployed is continuing to look for employment and shows proof of that they can continue to get their unemployment checks, correct?
That's the way I understand the system's supposed to work.
But they can only receive it if I'm understanding this correctly in your bill, they can only technically receive, the max would be for 20 weeks, correct?
Yes. It depends on the unemployment rate, but 20 would be the cap.
And that is if the rate is higher than 9%. The Missouri unemployment rate is higher than 9%, correct?
Is higher than, yes, 9%. That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Speaker, to speak on the bill?
Proceed, lady.
Okay, so we were having these conversations about unemployment, and I'm getting really sick and tired of hearing that there are jobs out there right now for everybody to do, and there's not enough people, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, there are a lot of jobs out there, but there's not a lot of good pay. I'm in a skilled trade. I went to Kansas City Art Institute for a degree in graphic design. I unfortunately graduated during the time when the market tanked and there was no jobs. I was so thankful that I finally did find employment. It wasn't up to par to what I should have been getting paid. I've been in situations where you, as a designer, because the trade is the first to go, the art trade is the first to go, you are now supposed to be able to do a jack of all trades, which we were not designed to do. I am not a copywriter. I am not a coder. I'm not an animator, but I'm not a photographer. But yeah, I'm supposed to be all of those things in one. And what you saw in my skilled trade was, well, the pay was low and you had to do more. And on top of that, we're talking about one job and probably 100 designers all competing for this one job. And so when I unfortunately have been through the experience of being unemployed, and when I searched and searched and searched, and I did daily almost 10 to 15 applications a day trying to find a job for months on end, the process of it was one of the hardest things I had to go through, because you're not only doing one interview. You do a phone call interview, and then if you pass that, then you go in for an in-person interview. And then if you pass that, then you have to do the second interview. There was one job where I had to go through 10 interview processes that took months. It wasn't like they were just calling me up right after it got done. We were scheduling these months at a time. And for one company, I had to go through it 10 times. And at the very end of it, it was between me and another person, and they took the other person because the other person said they were going to take a lower pay than I was. So I have a bill that raises the unemployment from 20 to 26 weeks, because people that are unemployed, they are trying their hardest. And sometimes we need to sit here and stop and stare and look, because it's a process. It's not something easy that you just go in, send an application in, and next thing you know, next day you get hired, you get a phone call. It is a long process, and it's grueling. So with that, I'm not going to support this. I'd love to support some bills that would actually support workers' rights. Thank you.